The following program is brought to you by The Bot Shop, the art of creativity.
Welcome into another telecast of LMC Varsity Sports alongside Tom Sacco. I'm Charlie McGraw. We're here for our first Rhinebeck baseball game of the season in what is a very cold April afternoon here at Rhinebeck High School. Rhinebeck is 2-1 and Dobbs Ferry is 2-3-1. And Tom, this should be a good game on paper, but both teams will have to fight the elements as it's a very cold one, and it'll be one of their first league games of the year.
Yep, I mean, we're hoping that the rain holds out. It is not the best baseball weather. It's a little cold and dreary, but definitely hoping for no rain. But I think, like you said, it should be a good game, close game. Both teams pretty much even records, so hopefully the elements hold out and we see a good played baseball game.
Yeah, and just as you said that, I think I felt a drop or two. But when we get back, Mike Colasanti will have the first pitch as he's on the bump for the Panthers here on LMC Varsity Sports. Back here on LMC Varsity Sports alongside Tom Sacco and Charlie McGraw. Cameramen are Rob Moretti. There's also LMC Varsity Sports producer Sean Kelly and Elijah Ware. First pitch here from Colasanti is taken for a ball by leadoff hitter Thomas Rich. It'll be Rich, Holzman, and Sabinski for Dobbs Ferry to lead off the game. Colasanti's second pitch of the game will be ball two. Ground ball to player Crosby, and he will make the play over to Evan Dunn, one away. 2-0 swinging by Rich, and if I was Rich there, I would have taken that pitch, make it 3-0 or 2-1, but instead he grounds out.
Yeah, I mean,
take a strike when you throw the first two balls.
yeah, I mean, you might want to come out, be aggressive, sometimes, but, seeing the pitcher first time around, it might be better off just, take what you can, get an easy 3-0 count.
It looked like it was probably a strike, but we'll never know. Wait, that was a strike. Late call, but it looked like, 0-1. Colasanti's first pitch to Zachary Holzman, who was his counterpart on the mound. We saw him warming up before the game. He throws, even though he's batting righty, he throws lefty.
Always interesting to see.
Mm-hmm.
Not often you see something like that, especially from pitchers.
Right. Well, Steven Matz does it. On the Mets, throws lefty, bats righty. Strike.
The problem with that is your left hand is, up front with your bat, so
Yeah.
you take a pitch off that front hand, it's
Right.
not going to be good for your pitching.
Yeah, he's got the big elbow protector, Matz does. Holzman doesn't have anything on his elbow. Ball, 2-2. And that one is grounded to player Crosby again, and 2 for 2 is Crosby. 4-3 to start the game for Dobbs Ferry, and that'll bring up the three-hitter Tyler Sabinski as it's a quick 2 outs for Colasanti.
Pitch is swung on and tipped straight back.
0-1 to Sabinski, the shortstop. Batting third will be followed, if he gets on base, by Nathaniel Bloom, the first baseman for Dobbs Ferry. But Colasanti looking for a 1-2-3 inning. So he's already got the 2 quick groundouts to player Crosby, and a strike that can't be squeezed by Matt Quartararo, who's just catching, not hitting as he's being DH'd for by Alex Saltis in the 9 spot. You're allowed to DH for one player, any position, not just a pitcher like they do on the major league level.
Not sure I'd be too happy about that as a player that doesn't get to hit, but
Yeah, when I was in high school, when I was my first year, I DH'd a couple times for guys, but I would hit. I wouldn't play the field, and it was all right because I liked hitting and stuff.
Right,
That was
yeah, I
fine.
mean, I wouldn't-
But no, to be a designated fielder, exactly that. Yeah.
I wouldn't be too happy with that. DH I'd be fine with, but
Yeah.
DF, I guess? No, thank you.
Although when it's the catcher, you're in every play, so that's okay. But like if it's just like
That's
at
true.
first I thought that's what it said on the Dobbs Ferry, but it looks like their DH, they're just playing right field is Schwab, and so he's just playing right field, being DH for. So it was a late change on the Dobbs Ferry lineup as we saw Coach Frank Adamo was making changes to his lineup as he was handing it in to the umpires and to Coach Joe Carlucci from Rhinebeck. So they came up. This game was supposed to start at 4:30. They didn't get here to what, 4:20? And this game didn't start till 4:50. And that's a shot to left field. It'll hang up in the air and come down just enough for Matt Saltis to make the third out of the inning. Tyler Sapinski gave it a good ride, but it hung up in that cold air. And it's a 1-2-3 for Colasante. 3 balls put in play, all outs. End of a half inning, 0-0 here at Rhinebeck. Back here on LMC Varsity Sports will be the left-hitting Colin Kelly leading off against the lefty pitcher Zachary Holzman. Right down the middle, strike one from Holzman. Ball one. Colin Kelly, then Player Crosby, then Brian Scott for the 2-1 Rhinebeck Panthers, who are coming off a 17-1 win over Hamilton in a mercy rule of 5 innings. Grounder fielded easily by Nathaniel Bloom, and he'll step on first for the out, 1 away. And Dobbs is coming off a win against the Halle yesterday, 7-5. So these two teams both playing back-to-back days. It's not as common in high school baseball, but it happens. That's a ball to Crosby.
Big difference in weather, too. Yesterday was 75 and gorgeous out for baseball, perfect baseball weather, and now it's like 40 and misty.
Strike, back-to-back lefties against the lefty. That's the other thing about high school. You don't know really beforehand who you're facing, but you have back-to-back lefties to start against a lefty. Whereas maybe if you knew, you might have a righty or so in the lineup, but
Yep.
either way, you put your best players and lefty, righty regardless. Because with the major leagues, basically, they do it based on the lefties and righties pitching. Swung on a missed, 2-2.
I'm not even sure Dobbs Ferry had that all figured out until about 5 seconds before game time, so.
Right, their late lineup they put in. Scribbled out a couple changes, too, with the 6 and 8 hitters. Low. He called that same pitch a strike before, but now he calls it a ball, which it is a ball. It's low. The 2-2 pitch will be fouled off by Crosby into the woods behind home plate. And it'll be The full count pitch will be taken for ball, and it'll be a walk for player Crosby. So first base run of the game will be a walk on the 5th total batter from both teams. Will reach for the first batter to reach will be the second baseman freshman player Crosby and Brian Scott. First righty batter for the Panthers. Ball high, 1-0. Still early, but it looks like the umpire favors the lower pitches.
It's definitely something you got to remember as a pitcher to, pick up on that, maybe game plan around that a little bit.
And as a hitter, know what to swing at.
True.
As foul ball towards us, it'll be short though, and it'll go into the woods just left of the batting cage, and it'll be strike 1, 1-1. Strike 2. Nice curve from Zachary Holzman, and it's 1-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3, 2 away now. As the 3-hitter Brian Scott strikes out. Crosby still on first. 2 outs. As Evan Dunn will come up, the first baseman, and the ace of the pitching staff.
First strikeout of the game for either team. Every other out was put in play.
All ground outs, and 3 ground outs and a fly out. Swung on a miss, strike 1. That one fouled off.
A little behind on both those fastballs, so you got to wonder if he'll throw him an off speed as he maybe chokes up and tries to get around on the fastball.
Crosby took off, but it's fouled off, so he'll go back to first. Dobbs Ferry in their grays with blue long sleeves underneath. And in their home whites is Rhineck. Ball. Dobbs Ferry played Bronxville, my old school, on Saturday, and I went to the end of the game, and they were both wearing blue jerseys. Supposed to be at Dobbs, but I think Dobbs' field was too wet or had a problem. I know it's their football field, also their baseball field. As Crosby takes off, and he'll get second easily, so it'll be a stolen base for player Crosby, and a man in scoring position with a 2-2 count to Evan Dunn after he's fouled off about 4 pitches. But Dobbs lost that game 9-7 to Bronxville in 10 innings, so they were tied 7-7 after. But it was at Bronxville's home field, but Dobbs was the home team, since it was supposed to be played at Bronxville. I mean, at Dobbs.
That can definitely get confusing, especially for us calling the game.
Right, with both teams wearing blue jerseys, it would have been very. I mean, it's the only. I was thinking the only sport that you can get away with that is baseball, and 2 sports, but similar, baseball and softball, because you can never play like a soccer or basketball game with the same jerseys.
Right. Yeah.
You confuse the player, and football too, even. But in baseball, softball, I mean, someone's not on you.
Yeah, it's not like you're going to throw the ball to the wrong team because.
Yeah. Swung on and missed by Dunn. 2 strikeouts, back-to-back swing to end the inning, and Holzman has Strands, the runner, at second, End of 1, 0-0 here at Rhineton. Back here on LMC Varsity Sports as Colasanti gets another ball from the umpire after his warm-ups, and they start. And didn't he call that pitch? He called that pitch strikes to the other.
Yep, he's definitely varying the strike zone a little bit. I mean, he was definitely calling those low pitches strikes early on.
That low too. I mean, exactly almost. And that's too low, so that'll be 2 outs. And Nathaniel Bloom, the first baseman, lefty from Dobbs, but with the cold weather, as Tom said, it's like feels like it's 40, even though it's like 45. But it's going to be hard to swing the bat. The shot in the first inning by Tyler Sapinski to the outfield could be the furthest hit ball of the game.
That is true.
Because with the your hands, and it'll be hard to swing as a foul off there, as Coach Joe Carlucci moves Colin Kelly, the center fielder.
And when it is, cold and wet like this, it's hard to, get your body, moving, your reflexes moving at the speed you need to, get around on a fastball or something like that.
And that's a shot to the outfield. Kelly with a diving catch, despite being just moved in the opposite, a little more over towards left by Coach Carlucci. He was able to come over and make the diving catch on the line out, so it's an LO8 to start the inning for Nathaniel Bloom, and Julian Ventura, the third baseman, will lead off. But a great diving catch there by Colin Kelly to start the second inning here.
Great defensive play there. Made a good read on it and just got there in time, despite, like you said, being shifted over to the left a little bit.
Yeah, it wasn't a big shift,
Yeah.
but it was a couple of steps to the left. With the lefty up, he was where normally, but Coach Carlucci saw that he might be a little late with his swing, and I thought for sure that was going to be a base hit since he moved him. And
it looked like it was about to drop in, but, Kelly made a great defensive stop.
Perfect leap by Kelly, as he has those not as heavy a grass stain as you would think after that play, but on his knees already from that play. So Ventura, the third baseman, with the pitch from Colasanti outside and dropped by Quartararo. He'll retrieve it, and ball. And Ventura will take a half sprint to first, as it was dropped by Quartararo, but he's able to retrieve it. And the first base runner of the game for Dobbs Ferry will be Julian Ventura, the third baseman, on a walk. And the DH, Andrew Schwab, number 21, will come up with a man on first, the senior Schwab. He's DHing for the right fielder, Nolan Bulke. The righty Schwab, ball. It's Colasanti, a couple balls in the zone there. But then Kelly made that catch because it would be about first and second here. No outs instead.
Yep.
As he's thrown about 4 balls in a row. And this one is hit towards right field, and it's foul. Easily, as it'll be left by the right fielder, Scott DeVore.
That could have been extra bases had it dropped fair. Got a little confused with this other foul line we have here. Thought it was dropping fair for a second before I realized that this is not the foul line.
This line is it actually is it's if it goes out of play on like a throw from the infielders. if it goes past this line,
Right,
which
extra
it usually
bases.
does, it'll be you go first to second out of bounds. But also, if there's a play down here, and technically he catches it over. I mean, he can catch it in there and then come over here. But if if it's technically caught where we are and stuff on this side of the line, then it's not a catch because it's out of
Really?
play. Yeah. Because if there's a foul ball over here, that would be a long way and that would be a really good catch. But if it goes past this line and the umpire's on top of it, that's what that's supposed to be, like a boundary. It's for us and the parents to sit
Right,
behind
yeah.
as well. But yeah, those two, yeah. No, yeah.
So no diving catches into the stands then.
Right, and still 2 strikes as that one was just fouled off by Schwab. No, bluffing was Ventura. I think he fooled, I think. Just the left fielder, I think Saltis said he was going. At first he was, and then he stopped and stayed there.
I'm definitely giving a lot of attention to that runner on first.
Right. This game goes the distance. With as that one is a perfect hit and run as Ventura took off, stole. He had second, stolen, but it was a hit and run, and Schwab, the DH, does his job perfectly as he puts it right where the second baseman was covering. Actually, he was more backing up because he was covering, and backing up was the shortstop, Scott. So player Crosby went over to cover the base, and Scott was over there too. And Crosby actually had to also get out of the way because Ventura was at the base, and then he couldn't get back to the ball, but he wouldn't be able to have because it was
Right.
perfectly executed.
Picture perfect hit and run there. And I guess that's
I think
why
it was
they
just
were.
a steal sign. I mean, there were 2 strikes on him.
Right,
I
yeah.
don't think it was a hit and run per se. It looked like it was a straight steal, and then he was, protecting the plate and trying to put it in play. Nonetheless, our first hit of the game is perfectly executed. We have first and third with the 1 out, and the 1 out being the web gem by Colin Kelly in the outfield.
And that really ended up saving them, definitely saving them some runs with that catch.
And this one is hit to the outfield. Fly ball by William Charhis, the left fielder, and good catch and good throw in by Max Saltis as it'll hold Ventura. I mean, I think it was a straight, the one before. It could have been a hit and run. I mean, there were 2 strikes, but Ventura not the fastest one because he barely got off that base. I mean, that throw probably would have been out, but he barely had no chance of going there.
Right, yeah. I mean, I think
And,
it was a wise decision to hold him there.
So there's 2 away. Second fly ball caught by Max Saltis as he caught the first one that ended the first inning, and that one there by William Charkis, the catcher. One of 2 junior, I guess the twins, William and Julian Charkis, is not in the game, but he's listed as a backup outfielder, and William Charkis, the starting catcher, who made that for Dobbs. So Schwab still on first, the DH, and Ventura on third. After that hit and run that was executed perfectly, it would have been an out. Maybe even a double play if he wasn't going. That was a hard hit ground ball that would have been right at second base for player Crosby. Instead, with the man going and the hole open, it was right through. Ball by Colasanti as he looks to strand 2 runners on first and third here with 2 outs. No score here in the second inning. Ball 4. Colasanti walks Brian Dublier. So Brian Dublier walks the DH Andrew Schwab as Coach is moving Colin Kelly once again. Coach Carlucci. So Dublier is on first, the center fielder. Schwab, the DH, is on second, and Julian Ventura, the third baseman, is on third with 1 strike, 2 outs to Kyler Worth, the left fielder, and the number 9 hitter in the lineup is the 6th batter to bat in the inning for Dobbs Ferry. Swung on and fouled. That was a foul ball.
Big at bat for Colasanti, the pitcher here, as you know, 1 hit could really break this game open.
It's the 9 hitter too.
So he'll definitely look to end this inning without getting himself into too much trouble with the bases loaded.
Strike 3, right down the middle. Colasanti looking. Worth didn't lift it off his shoulder on that pitch, and it's a 3 men left on base with 1 hit and no runs here after an inning and a half as we head to the bottom of the second. No score, Rhinebeck and Dobbs Ferry. Back here on LMC Varsity Sports, alongside Tom Sacco and Troy McGraw, bottom of the second. Pitch from Zachary Holzman inside. Ball 1 to the pitcher, Mike Colasanti. It'll be Colasanti, Ben De Amico, and Scott DeVore. Colasanti hits one to right, and the designated fielder will
doing his job
make
there.
the catch, Nolan Balky, as he went back about 2 or 3 steps, and he makes the catch for out number 1, as Coach Frank Adamo reminds him, first step always back, as he did come in at first, and it almost burned him, but luckily it wasn't deep enough for him.
Right.
Because if it was deeper, he really would have got burned with his first step going. He came in first, and then he had to retreat. He came in 1 step and then had to retreat about 4 to make the. It wasn't the easiest catch, but it was a pretty. It would have been an error if he dropped it out.
Yep.
But 1 away, as Colasanti gave it a good ride the opposite field, but it was caught there by Balky, who's just playing right field and not hitting. This is being DH for DH, who had a nice hit on the hit and run. Schwab.
And obviously the thinking is that it's much easier to run in than it is to run backwards and track a ball, you know, when it's in front of you.
Yeah, first step back. Yeah, that's what they say. And yeah, because if you do 1 step in and it's too far back, then that could be the difference, not catching it.
You got to turn around and run back, and you know, lose track of the ball. Always want to be running into the ball if you can.
Right. So you initially go back. They always said that. Yeah, when I used to play infield, but then I got moved to outfield, and they always said first step back. And at first, when you're just starting to play the outfield, it doesn't really sound right, but then it makes sense, because if you go back, then it won't go over your head, basically. Because it's fouled back again, 2 foul backs in a row by Ben D'Amico. So it'll be a 1-2 to D'Amico. Ben D'Amico, the freshman, and has bounced 2-2. He's playing third base. Player Crosby, also a freshman, in second base. And the other freshman's not in the lineup, Sam Dalsimer. Ball, so it's a full count, excuse me, sorry about that. So the full count pitch to D'Amico is low, ball 4. D'Amico sprints to first. Always like when the players do that. And especially today.
Move.
Yeah, today it's good to do that too, to stay warm.
As you say that, the rain is starting to come down a little bit harder now.
A lot harder than when you had said on the open it might rain later, and then there was like a drizzle or 2. Now this rain is like
Starting to pick up a little bit.
definitely. This one is foul towards us, but it'll be short. So it'll be 2 strikes to DeVore, the righty.
As we said, this probably isn't enough rain to, impact the game in terms of calling it, but just enough to make that ball a little bit more slippery to throw, or especially for the pitcher.
Yeah, unless it's really pouring. Right now it's steady. It's not a drizzle, it's more than a drizzle. It's a steady rain, but it's not pouring, and there's the all-important. The main thing to cancel and stuff is if there's thunder and lightning. When there's thunder and lightning, then they have to suspend the game. There hasn't been it was in the forecast last night, as you and I were talking about, but it doesn't. It looks like that was taken away.
Seems that our roster sheets are taking the brunt of this, the elements.
Still, DeVore is up with D'Amico on first, and the 1 out, which was Colasante, who lined out to Balky here in the bottom of the second. Between Dobbs Ferry and Reineck. Umpire called time. Maybe he got some rain in his eye.
Came prepared for sure.
Definitely.
Got a nice umbrella here.
Swung on and missed by DeVore, 2 away. And that'll bring up Max Saltis, the left fielder, and his twin brother Alex Saltis the DH will be on deck if Max can get on. He swung on and missed. Saltis already has 2 catches on the day and left, as D'Amico is still at first with 2 outs now. He walked with 1 out. As Dobbs Ferry will have the top of the order in the third, as that one's low but scooped by the catcher there, Sharkus. As the rain starts to pick up even more now.
I don't know why I didn't think to bring my umbrella when the forecast had thunderstorms. I guess that didn't really occur to me.
Swung on and fouled back by Saltis on a high pitch. 1 and 2. Did not help that Dobbs Ferry was late, as they came at like 4:15, 4:20.
That's right.
After they warmed up first in the national anthem. First pitch was about 4:52, 4:53. If they had started at 4:53, if they had started at 4:30 when they were supposed to, we would be in the fourth inning.
Right, and then
instead,
this wouldn't be.
Yeah.
Instead, it's just the second inning, and this rain's starting to pick up.
And it's a quick pickoff move, but D'Amico gets back easily, and he's safe. His jersey, on the other hand, is very dirty. By Holzman. That was the quick pickoff move by him, but he goes to the plate on this one and strikes out Saltis to retire the side. 2 innings, no runs for either team. We'll head to the top of the third at Rainey Reineck High School with the score 0-0.
All right, welcome back on LMC TV. We're here for the top of the third inning, as it's top of the order for the Dobbs Ferry Eagles. This will be Rich, the second baseman. He grounded out last time around. First pitch from Colasante, swung on and hit deep into the gap between left and center field. That'll go over the left fielder's head. He's rounding second. That'll be a stand-up double for Rich to lead off the inning.
First pitch swinging for Thomas Rich, and Max Saltis was hugging the line with the lefty up, and no chance at it. Maybe if he was in normal position, he might have had a slight chance, but I don't know where he was playing. It was was playing way too close to the line.
That'll bring
And
up.
It went right into the gap, and it chased after it, and it was an easy double for the leadoff Rich. And Dobbs can maybe bunt him to third, or
That'll bring up
two-hitter.
Holzman, the pitcher.
The lefty pitcher, batting righty.
He fouls this one off into the trees behind us. 0-1 count.
Don't know where that ball landed. Didn't hear it land. It was high enough where it was backyard bound, but I don't think it went into someone's backyard.
This one's taken for a strike. 0-2 count on Holzman, the pitcher.
And the two-hitter.
Rich leads off second. 0-2 pitch is taken for a ball, 1-2.
It's too late now, but I probably would have had him bunt. The way that it's 0-0 third inning. We have a man on second. Number 3 hitter on deck who already hit a bomb to the outfield just short. Savensky. That Saltis had a catch, which obviously would have been a Salt sac fly.
Yep.
And then that pitch you get robbed there to Colasanti. That could have been strike 3, but it should have probably had him bunt. I mean, don't know how. I mean, number 2, he's probably one of their better hitters, but
Count is 2-2 after he takes that one low for a ball.
I guess it was inside. But it looked like a good pitch. That one's high.
One's high. Bring up to a full count for Holzman.
Just as well. I mean, a walk would be great for Dobbs, but also a ground ball to second or first.
Yep, at least move the runner along. That one's low, and he'll work a walk. That'll be men on first and second for Sapinski, the shortstop, who flew out last at bat.
A long fly out, almost to the. There's a little hill in left field. A very little hill, but it is enough to where it goes upwards, because that fence is the one that goes around the track, as opposed to the makeshift fence that they made up from deep center to right. It went and basically he had to take a couple steps back with Saltis and he was able to make it, but it was about 8 to 10 feet in front of it. But it was the furthest hit ball of the game so far. Even after that double, that's a strike. But this is a huge bat for the game.
Yeah, got men on first and second, nobody out. The 3-hitter at bat.
Third inning. Not just because of the rain, but because of the light and stuff. This game ends the third inning because they were late and stuff, but this one might not go the full 7.
Yep, definitely.
An official game, it has to go, I think, 4.5 in high school baseball.
4.5, the home team does.
Right, so
It's taken way low and outside for a ball.
if Dobbs were to win, though, and there was a thing that it'd have to go 5 innings. But, yeah, 5.
Slow again for another ball.
Yeah, for a high school game to be official, they have to do close to the majors, which is 5.5.
Pitch from Colasanti's taken for a third ball. Let's see if they let him swing away here.
3-1.
Is it 3? It's 3-0 or 3-1. That one's fouled back out of play.
Put a couple more balls in play. Colasanti gets one of the fresh ones. This came from the bench and far away here. So, and this Emma Marinak, they always put the balls and strikes up on the scoreboard most of the time. Balls and strikes, but here at Rhinebeck, they don't have that option on the scoreboard.
Pitch is
Yes, you were right, Tom. It was 3-0 because that was 3-1. So he did swing 3-0 and he just fouled it off. And then the 3-1 pitch gets away and it's bases loaded. But no, the scoreboard is more, it has the innings and stuff, but it does not have balls or strikes. And Mamaroneck, they do keep track of the balls and strikes.
I think it's got to be scoreboard there, yeah.
Yeah. But that's another walk for Colasante. Bases loaded, Sapensky on first, Holzman on second, Rich on third, and that will be that's walk number 4 now. 2 last inning, a hit last inning, and a double this inning. So 2 hits, 4 walks for Colasante. Not bases loaded, no outs. With the cleanup is not Nathan
Bloom takes a pitch for a ball.
Nathaniel Bloom. He lined out. That was the catch of the game by Colin Kelly in his last at bat. 2-0. Gotta wonder if it's the slow down the rain, but it was raining the hardest when this inning started.
Yep.
And he served up that double, and then he walked 2 guys.
This one swung on and hit deep to center field. The center field is running back, makes the catch. Runners will tag, and that'll score 1 run.
Wow.
So that'll be the first run of the game as Dobbs Ferry takes a 1-0 lead on the sac fly from Bloom.
That was a shot by Bloom. Second time he made out to Colin Kelly, but this one was far and it was over his shoulder, almost Willie. Not as good, obviously, as the Willie Mays catch, but it was over the shoulder like Mays' catch. And he was all the way almost to third. That was bad base running at second by
Ventura, the third
Holzman.
baseman, takes a ball.
By Holzman, because he should have tagged there. Instead, he was too close to third, and he had to retreat, and he couldn't tag up. Instead, he should have been halfway, because if that gets over Kelly, he's going to score easily. So he didn't have to go that far. He should have been a quarter or halfway, so he could have tagged. But the only one who scored was a Rich on the, because it's 1-0 Dobbs. That's a break that nobody else tagged there.
It's high for a ball. Ventura takes 2-1. He walked last time around. Outside for another ball, 3-1 count on Ventura here. Some control issues or placement issues are leading to a not great start to this inning. That one's pop foul out of play. That'll be a full count on Ventura as the bases remain loaded.
No, first and second.
Oh, first and second?
Yeah, because of the sac fly.
You're right. Yep.
But 1 out. I was supposed to get that sac fly. There was no outs, but now there's 1 out.
That one's lined into left field. That'll score 1 run. There's a play at the plate, but it's not anywhere as close to in time.
The bobble led to it. I mean, it's a base hit. It's not an error per se, but it was it's an RBI single. And Saltis bobbled it and left, and the bobble led to the run. So it's now first and second. Julian Ventura with the RBI single. Sapensky on second, 1 out. But Max Saltis bobbled it, and then the throw, he got away with the throw, missing the cutoff man, because a good play by the catcher, Matt Cordero, came out to cut it off before it could have reached him, keeping the runner Sapensky at second.
Right.
So, which was big. As the DH here, Schwab, who already has a base hit, is up with a first and second chance to break this one open. It's a base hit or a double. Makes it 3 or 4-0. That could be tough for Ryan
Absolutely.
They've been struggling. They haven't looked that good at the plate, and they haven't got hit yet.
Still only 1 away too.
Yeah, just one out.
That'll be a ball. on Schwab.
Yeah, they've only had 2 base runners, the Panthers. D'Amico and Crosby, and both on walks.
Schwab fouls this one way back into somebody's backyard.
Wow. It hit the deck in the backyard. It's beyond the fence.
It'll be a 1-2 count.
A little higher, that could have reached the deck. But it hit the bars, the wood bars before the deck. As the rain feels like it's about to pick up again. And
Fouls that one right back towards the same spot. I think it was
to the
stopped by
rain,
some
they
trees.
They lose a lot of balls here, Tom.
Count remains 1-2.
That was a good piece of hitting, though, by Ventura. Rope up the middle between shortstop and third. And
It's taken low for a ball, 2-2 count.
it was hit hard enough where it was bobbled by Saltis and left. And that was the difference. Although, even if it wasn't bobbled, he still might have been safe as the throw wasn't good.
Yeah, I mean, I think he probably would have been safe either way, but it didn't help.
It didn't help with the bobble, but got away with the bad throw as it was cut off by Corderaro before it got to the full plate to the catcher, and just low. That's the call you need. That was called a strike earlier in the game, but can't get it there.
That'll bring it to a full count.
As Holzman and Rich have scored already this inning to make it 2-0 Dobbs on a sac fly and a RBI single.
That's too low, and that'll be another walk for Colasanti as Schwab takes first base.
5th walk of the game, 3rd of the inning, 2 last inning, and Colasanti not having the control that you need to. As Corderaro will come out for a visit, and the rain starts to pick up again.
And like you said before, the rain was at its worst when the inning started, so
Right.
ball could very well be slippery and have led to some of these walks. The rain is picking up once again.
Although the thing that started it all was the first pitch of the inning was a fat pitch right down the middle. As that one's fouled off, that was a double. So that was a strike, but it was too good. So yeah, the control has hurt him, but a couple pitches just missed the third batter of the game. The 1-2-3 inning that hit the deep ball to the left just missed, and then the play here where Kelly made it, that was with the bases loaded and he had to make the over shoulder. That was about 10 feet away from being a grand slam. With nicer weather and stuff, it probably would have been a grand slam.
You're right, yeah.
To right center. Strike 2. Good pitch there, though. As it's 0-2.
Sharkus.
And this may or may not well be the at-bat of the game. Bases loaded, 1 out. Just foul by the catcher Charkis. Bases loaded, 1 out, top 3. Bad weather, bad lighting, late, 3rd inning, though it feels like the 5th inning, and you're down 2-0. Bases loaded. Just 1 out, too.
Just a pitch to Sharkus.
Bouncer.
Taken low for a ball, got away for a second, but catcher corralled it before any damage was done.
Yeah, Corderaro made a nice play. He stopped it, and then it pinballed off of the batter, Charkis, and then Corderaro got it before the other team. Before to go past it. But if it does get by him,
That one's lined to the shortstop. Goes to second, on to first, but he can't make the play in time. One out, but another run will score on the error at first.
good slide by Schwab. So that's an RBI. 1 RBI, because that's a fielder's choice. They'll have to discuss if he'll go to second. But, you can't assume the double play, but the throw did allow the guy on second to score and him to go to second, so that is an error. It was grounded to short, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
so
grounded to short.
Second baseman
Yep.
Crosby made a hop that allowed it. You can't assume a double play, but if he throws it,
Even if they didn't get the out,
even
the
if
run
they don't
wouldn't have
get
scored.
the out, the second run wouldn't have scored. So that's an error because of that.
So bring up Dublier, who walked first time around.
Bottom line, it's 4-0.
2 outs now, though. Pitch is taken for a strike down the middle. That one is taken low for a ball.
Yeah, so the one error leads to the advancing to second and advancing to home. It got past that white line we were talking about. That's why he advanced to second. And the umpires discussed it.
Swung on and missed for strike 2. And you got to believe Colasanti desperately needs to get out of this inning during this at bat.
And a good throw would have had him. Crosby had a good throw, and it was a very tough play for Evan Dunn to scoop.
That pitch bounces in front of the dirt, in front of the plate.
It's a wild pitch.
Yep, wild pitch. The catcher had to go run and get it. The runner will advance to third.
And it starts to come down hard again.
And with 2 outs, a runner is in scoring position.
All home in this inning too, 4-0. 3 earned, and the last one was unearned.
That one is taken high and inside for a ball. It's the pitch. High and inside again. The pitch is swung on and hit deep into left field. He'll scoop it up, and that will score a run, and it will be a stand-up double for Dublier, as this inning has really broken this game open so far, as Dobbs Ferry takes a 5-0 lead on the stand-up double from Dublier.
That was just fair, huh?
That'll bring up Worf, the 9-hitter.
Yeah, too bad that play on the double play on the low throw by the freshman player Crosby. Just a freshman, so over time he'll be able to make that play. But got to give credit also to Schwab, the DH. He had a good slide into second. Kind of got to Crosby with his slide. And that's a 3-run slide, because the 2 runs, also, as we have a pitching change here, Colin Kelly is coming into the game. But if we'll be right back on LMC Varsity Sports.
We're back on LMC Varsity Sports. Colin Kelly is now in the game at pitcher. He will face off against the 9-batter Worf with 2 outs. First pitch is taken low for a ball.
So the man on second is his responsibility for Colasanti.
That one is low and got away from the catcher, and the runner will advance to third.
Pass ball.
Will be a 2-0 count on Worf.
The second baseman Crosby is in left field.
That's taken for the first strike.
Max Saltis is in center field. And Colasanti's at second base. And once again, Kelly's pitching.
That one is swung straight through for a strike. 2-2 count on Worf. This is the 9th batter of the inning for Dobbs Ferry.
They started with the leadoff man.
Yep. And that's swung on and missed. That'll be a strikeout, and Rydneck will finally get out of the inning, but not after Dobbs Ferry has broken open the game, scoring 5 runs, few of those unearned after the error on the double play. And we'll be right back on LMC Varsity Sports. Welcome back to LMC Varsity Sports. We're here for the bottom of the third inning as Reineck will come to bat. It will be Alex Saltis, the DH. First pitch is taken low for a ball. And Reineck will look to get some runs on the board, get some hits on the board actually, after the big inning from Dobbs Ferry. It's taken down the middle for a strike. 1-1 count. That one's taken for a strike. 1-2 is the count.
As the DH, Saltis was obviously not in the field for the last inning, so he was waiting over on the bench with his at-bat coming as he takes that 2-2. It's the rain stopped for now.
We'll see how long that lasts.
Saltis DHing for the catcher, Corderaro.
Almost hit him there, but he ducked out of the way.
So I guess one of the pitches that we thought was a strike was a ball. So it's full count now?
Yep.
That was just the second strike.
That one's grounded to the second baseman who picks it up and makes the easy throw to first. And that'll be one away. That'll bring up the top of the order. Colin Kelly, who just came in to pitch last inning and got them out of that inning.
And grounded out to first on his first at bat. And with the easy by Nathaniel Bloom. The rain made it a lot darker. Swung on and missed. Lefty batting Kelly, although he throws righty. Wow, so now the two pitchers. You have Zachary Holtzman throws lefty but bats righty. Colin Kelly pitches, throws righty but bats lefty. Interesting. As Kelly's the
One's taken low for
the
a
pitcher
ball.
now. Took over for Colin Son. Just need to get guys on base.
Yeah, I mean they have yet to get a hit thus far in the third inning.
2 walks only. D'Amico and Crosby.
It's too high for a ball.
Someone's throwing behind the Dobbs man.
Pitch is grounded right back to the first baseman. Bobbles it for a second, but manages to step on the base and get the out, and that'll be a quick 2 away.
So 2-3 unassisted by Colin Kelly so far, and he's 0 for 2. This player Crosby will come up. Walked and stole second without a throw in the first inning. Another lefty batter.
It's too high for a ball. 1-0 is the count. It's taken right on the bottom of the zone for a strike. Just a little too low that time. 2-1 count. That'll be low. 3-1 is the count on Crosby. Good hitters count. And that's taken for a ball, and that'll be a walk for player Crosby as he takes first base.
Second walk for him. As he's now in left field from start of the game at second.
That'll bring up Brian Scott. He struck out his first at bat. So he comes to the plate with 2 outs and a man on first.
Good pitch.
takes the first pitch for a strike. Swung on and missed. 1-1 count.
I think 0-2 the first pitch. He took the strike right then.
Oh, yep, you're right. That'll be skied in between left and center. And that'll drop in for a hit. He'll be at second. They're sending the runner. There will be no play at the plate. And that'll be Reinek's first hit and first run of the game on the double from Brian Scott. As they cut the lead to 5-1.
It helped Scott that he hit it so high because Kyler Worth, who's the only player, I think, not to reach base for Dobbs Ferry, 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Yeah, he's the only player not to reach base.
Misplayed that ball as it went. It was way over his head to begin with, but it looked further than it was, but it was halfway up the hill. So, I mean, it's not really a hill, but it's like a little up, elevated, like outfield. So it would have been a really tough catch, and it was a double. It wasn't an error,
But it was over his head, and he kind of misjudged it, and it was hit very high. But it was a good shot by Scott.
on the 1-2 pitch.
Evan Dunn hits it directly to the shortstop on the ground. Hill will throw it just short, and the first baseman corrals the bounce.
Nice
and that'll, nice scoop, and that'll end the inning, but not before Reinek at least gets on the board as they trail 5-1. We'll be right back with the top of the fourth on LMC TV. Welcome back to LMC Varsity Sports. We're back for the top of the fourth inning. It'll be top of the order again for Dobbs Ferry as they batted around last inning. First pitch is taken way high for a ball, 1-0 on Rich, the second baseman, who hit a double last time up to start off last inning.
On the first pitch of the inning.
This one's taken for a ball.
He hit it opposite field, and left fielder that inning was Saltus. He had no shot at it.
It's taken low for a ball. Shows bunt, pulls it back as he works a leadoff walk. So that pitch was bounced and then over the catcher's head. It's Rich's third time on base.
Second, he grounded out to start the
Oh, you're right. Yep, you're right.
one.
I have
1 for 2 with a walk.
I wrote the double and that's
Over our
fouled
heads.
off over our heads.
The tree?
Almost bounced off that tree into us. I lost sight of it, so it's a good thing it didn't.
Went back towards the cage here. Will be retrieved by Minor.
We'll bring up Holzman, the opposing pitcher, who just fouled that off. It's taken down the middle for a strike.
Holzman walked and scored one of the 5 runs of last inning.
And swung on and missed.
Foul.
Foul tipped.
Staying alive was Holzman.
Pitch is fouled way out of play. That'll get caught in the trees. Continuing to stay alive here. Runner takes off. Throw is just not in time. That'll be a stolen base for Rich.
Good scoop by Scott, but
Fouled off again to stay alive. I mean, had the throw been on the money, he might have got him, but would have been close either way. That'll be inside for a ball.
Hit him.
It hit him, nicked his jersey a little bit, I guess, and that'll be a hit by pitch for Holtzman.
The old hands up by the umpire means it hits him, and that would have made it a full count. And
He was, I think it was 0-2. It was either 0-2 or 1-2 that count. So not what you want to do is you hit him
as the 3-hitter.
Sapinski.
The rope to left that was caught, or the far hit to left that was caught in the first, and then I'm walking a run in the third.
Be taken for a ball. First and second, nobody out for Sapinski. That's fouled back and out of play towards the cage and into the trees, as we've seen many balls go today. That one is lined right over the second base. The center fielder will scoop it up. No runs will score. They'll hold Rich up at third. That'll be a base hit for Sapinski. That will load the bases with still nobody out for Bloom, the first baseman.
Energy on the Dobbs Ferry bench than the Rhinebeck bench. But
Absolutely.
That's what happens when you're up 5-1.
After a long inning, yeah. Gonna be a 1-0 count on Bloom. That one's popped way up in the air. Left fielder will get under it.
Oh.
And it'll miss communication. It'll drop. Rich will score.
There's two guys there, but nobody's over here. Wow. He was right on his tail. It was like something out of Rookie of the Year when Rowan Gardner's being chased by the guy behind him. He almost went in front of him, but the umpires didn't see it. If you go in front of him, that's an out.
That's an out,
and
right.
It looked like he went in front of him, but the umpires were looking towards the throw going into third. They didn't throw it. The outfielders didn't see that, and I would give an error to left, but it dropped like without being touched.
It dropped.
So
It
it's a
definitely.
hit, right?
I guess if it wasn't touched,
Is
it
that
was
a hit? It wasn't really touched,
definitely
but it
a
should have been an error.
miscommunication between the left and center fielder there.
I know. The pressure from the center fielder, it was like the left fielder's ball all the way. Player Crosby.
That'll bring up Ventura. And that is hit deep to center. He will make this play. The runner will tag from third and score. Runner move up to third. And that will be another run scored for Dobbs Ferry on the sac fly from Ventura.
And advancing at third with Semensky.
That'll bring up Schwab, the DH. Runners on the corners. Taken for a strike, 0-1. That's inside for a ball, 1-1. Quick pickoff attempt, but not in time. Slid back into the base. And he'll take off, and there will be no throw. That'll be a not contested stolen base. For Bloom.
Bloom finally gets to second base. He hit the ball. Looked like it was going to get caught, and then it dropped in. And then he got right next to his teammate.
That'll be a pass ball.
Yeah, it was in the glove, right? Pass
And
ball.
that'll score another run on the pass ball.
Sapinski, 8-1. Got the touchdown lead. And Bloom's at third. And walking was Schwab. Another walk for him. He's 1 for 1 with single and 2 walks.
A strike on Sharkus. Runners on the corners once again. Pickoff throw is not in time as he slides back just before the tag. As this rain begins to pick up once again. It's taken for a strike on Sharkus. Be taken for a ball.
Now it's really coming down.
Yep.
The 8-1 lead and stuff, but not an official game yet. Just 1 out still.
That'll be bounced before the catcher, and that'll score another run to make it 9-1. The runner advances to second. This inning is once again quickly unraveling.
Yeah, it's gone from bad to worse for Ryanek.
Now, not only is the game in jeopardy from the weather, but another inning, the mercy rule could possibly come into play if they can't get out of this inning. One is swung on and missed.
Strike 3.
And that'll be strike 3. The second out of the inning, Sharkus goes down on strikes. That'll bring up Dublier, the 8-hitter. It's too high, 1-0. Swung on and missed. Taken for a ball.
That's strike 2.
Oh, that was it. Oh, my mistake. Taken for a strike. The umpire didn't really. Trying to clean my glasses off here. It's too high for a ball.
Strike 3.
That'll be a called strike 3, and that will end the inning finally on the strikeout looking for Dublier, and we will be right back with the bottom of the inning after this. We're back here for the bottom of the inning. It'll be D'Amico, DeVore, and Saltis.
Actually, excuse me. Colasanti, D'Amico, and DeVore. Colasanti. Dunn made the last out. Grounded out to short. They had 4 batters last inning with the RBI double. So it's Colasanti who started the game on the mound at second, then D'Amico, then DeVore. 5, 6, 7.
Colasanti takes that one for a ball. And swung on and missed.
This is the game where it's gets you thinking, is it really just bottom of the 4th? And yes, sadly, it is.
That one's taken for a ball, and that'll be a leadoff walk for Colasanti.
Just missed that pitch. D'Amico, the third baseman, freshman, who walked in his first at bat.
I want to be taken for a ball.
He's just one of 4 guys to reach base. As Crosby reached base on 2 walks and scored, Scott had the RBI double, and Colasanti and D'Amico both have walked.
That'll be in there for a strike.
D'Amico is up now. Colasanti on first.
That one is hit into right field. Just foul.
Inches.
Inches foul. Just barely.
Really close, but it was
Right fielder made a long run. He wouldn't have been able to get there.
would have been first and second. As it would have been a long single as he was able to get it on the bounce, but bulky. For 1 and 2. Nico not wearing batting gloves.
That'll be a great pitch. That'll just hit the inside. And that'll be a strikeout looking
Curve.
for D'Amico. That'll bring up Scott DeVore. That one's hit to the third baseman, thrown over to first to get the out. That'll be 2 away on the ground out from DeVore to bring up Max Saltis.
His teammates called for Ventura to go too, but and the coaches too. But
He did the smart play just to get the out because it would have just been 1 out there, and he got the sure play.
Yep.
It would have been probably out, as it's the hardest it's rained all game.
And swung on and missed.
It goes from nothing to 100 real quick.
Yep.
Here, as it was not raining at all, and then it just started pouring. Saltis brother
One's low for a ball.
Colasante on second. Max sought this up. He's in center now after signing it in and left. Outside.
Too low for a ball.
3-1.
That'll be taken for a ball. That'll be another walk. First and second. For Alex Saltis, the DH.
Twin brother of Max, both sophomores.
He's taken low and inside for a ball. 1-0.
Grounded out to second. Thought he got hit, or thought he drew a walk. The umpire called it strike and made the count full, and then he grounded out. He fouls this one back 1-1. Well, next still with just the one hit, the RBI double by Brian Scott in the third inning. So he trailed 9-1. Dobbs Ferry with 5
And then 4 runs. If that's a pass ball, as it hit the glove, so pass ball.
second and third now.
That'll be fouled off. Straight back.
2-2 count.
That'll bounce before the plate. That's too low for a ball.
Two.
It'll be fouled just out of play. Continues to stay alive here. Fouled off yet again. So he fights off these pitches to stay alive in the inning. Steps off the mound. And that's taken for strike 3. Doesn't seem to like the call, but that will end the inning. And we will be right back after this on LMC Varsity Sports. We're back on LMC Varsity Sports as Dobbs Ferry's 9-hitter Worf comes up to the plate. It's a new pitcher. Player Crosby is now on the mound for Ryeneck as they trail 9-1. One is fouled out of play. He's taking low for a ball.
If you're a pitcher, you got to throw it close. Make the umpire call the strike, since he called the big strike with the bigger zone there.
That one clipped him around the hands or wrist area, I believe. So he'll take first base. Lead off hit by pitch for Wharf, and that'll bring up the top of the lineup. Rich. Taken for a strike, up in the zone. 0-1 count on Rich.
Third inning in a row, Rich has batted. Had a double in the second, scored, walk, and scored in the fourth. It's got really dark.
One's hit high in the air. Center fielder calls him off. He'll make the catch for the first out of the inning.
That's Colin Kelly, who pitched the last inning and 2/3.
That'll bring up Holzman. It's taken high for a ball. You want to know? Another ball, 2-0 count. Swung on and missed on the high fastball, 2-1 count. And when it's grounded weakly back to the pitcher, we'll pick it up, throw to first to make the out as the runner advances to second. That'll be 2 outs, as Sapinski, the shortstop, will come up to bat with the runner on second. Too high, 1-0 count. That'll be in there for a strike.
Open up that zone, strike 2.
It's taken for a very low strike.
9-1. Darkness is just went from the darkness measure, just like strike 3.
And that'll be a swing and a miss on a strike 3, and that'll be a quick inning.
And this could be the last inning here, and we'll be right back on LMC Varsity Sports.
We're back on LMC Varsity Sports for the bottom of the 5th inning. There's the new pitcher for Dobbs Ferry, Adam Schwartz, as Colin Kelly comes to the plate. That'll be a ball. Got away from the catcher, but
it's a Holzman pitch, 4 innings.
Kelly takes this one for a strike.
In the majors, you only have to go 5 out of the 9, but I guess since this game will only have to go 5, I guess if you go 4, so Holzman will get the win still. Pitch.
It's too high for a ball.
Pitching in the stretch, even though no one's on. Strike.
That'll be taken for a low strike. 1-2 is the count.
I think 2-2.
2-2?
Yeah.
Swung on and fouled out of play. Way too high for a ball. And that's too high, and that'll be a walk. Leadoff walk for Colin Kelly.
First time he's reached base. It's gotten a lot lighter because of that. Now,
It was real dark in that.
Clouds seem to be thinning out a little bit. Wonder if that will still cause him to potentially call the game. That is hit up in the air right to the second baseman, who will catch it for the out.
As soon as you
One away.
said that, it starts raining again.
Yep. That'll bring up Claire Crosby, who entered the game to pitch.
We had one good scoreless inning. No runs. Just coming on base twice. 0 for 0. A walk, 2 walks, a run, and the only run, and a stolen base.
This one is fouled out of play again.
Pinch hitter number 3.
This is not Claire Crosby.
Robert Miller pinch hitting, even though Schwartz has the 2. Got on base twice. And
Taken
scored.
low for a ball.
Stolen base. Robert Miller Jr. listed as a second baseman, pinch hitting.
Swung on and missed, and he will go down on strikes for the second out of the inning. So we'll bring up Scott.
No, Crosby
That's it
actually
to-
popped up.
That gets away, takes a bad hop.
It's either an error on the third baseman or a base hit for Evan Dunn. No, actually, Scott was replaced. Crosby actually popped up quickly. We missed it. When he hit the quick pop up to second. So Crosby hit a quick pop up to second that was caught. And then Brian Scott was replaced by number 3, Robert Miller, who struck out swinging. And that was a tough play. It did hit a funny spot. We'll give it a hit to Scott.
Infield hit for Scott.
Or an error, yeah.
Anyway, first and second.
No, for Dunn. For Dunn. Evan Dunn. Evan Dunn's on first. Crosby popped up, and the replacement replaced Scott. He struck
Taken low
out.
for a ball.
So Dunn's on first, and Kelly's on second, because Robert Miller struck out with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th.
It's too high for a ball. It's in there for a strike. That is hit high up in the air. The right fielder calls him off, and he will make the catch. And that will end the inning.
End the game
Oh, and
as the Dobbs Ferry wins this one 9-1. So final score is 9-1. Dobbs Ferry over Rhinebeck in a rain shortened / darkness, although it's They could have played another inning now, but we'll take it as the rain made it very uncomfortable. 9-1 here at Rhinebeck, and we'll be right back with the postgame show here on LMC Varsity Sports. Back here on the postgame show, final score 9-1 in a rain-shortened game as Rhinebeck falls to Dobbs Ferry. And Tom, after 2 innings, it was a 0-0 game, and then 5 innings in the third and 4 in the fourth for Dobbs Ferry to make it a 9-1 win. And it was a tough game for Rhinebeck, and the weather didn't help, but they just did not play their best game either.
Yeah, I mean, there was some, there was some crucial error that really the double play error that broke the game open, and that just led to a pouring in of runs. And from there, it just went from bad to worse. And, the rain didn't help at all. Might have had something to do with the issues. But other than that, Rhinebeck will look to bounce back next game. And we'll see where they go from here.
Yeah, final score was 9-1. And Rhinebeck falls to 2-2. And Dobbs Ferry is 3-1 now with the win. So a lot of people to thank for today's telecast, including the executive director, Matt Sullivan, the assistant director, and the community sports producer is Mr. Rob Moretti. For our camera crew, they were Sean Kelly, Elijah Ware, and Rob Moretti. Once again, for Tom Sacco, I'm saying Charlie McGraw. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great evening.
If you are interested in sponsoring this or other programs on LMC TV, contact us for more information.